The WWF, what the world is watching. Turn it on and rip the knob off.
Guys, and welcome back to the Wrestling Memory Grenade, episode 187. Always on my mind. Play a hate as fuck, y'all, and eliminate hard to find. Oh my gosh, I'm Ray Russell, and that takes me back to my high school years, but that's another story for another day. Yeah, Ray Russell knows a little rap. But we are jumping back into things here. We are heading into the home stretch to WrestleMania 5. The Mega Powers preparing to explode. But before we can get there, we've got a couple more weeks of television to get to, and the weekend of WrestleMania actually just kind of an infomercial of sorts for the TV programming building up said pay-per-view. So we've only got 2 weeks of TV to talk about here this week. I'm looking forward to jumping into it, and the next time we return, it's going to be all about WrestleMania 5. I can't wait. It's been a long time coming. Lots of promotion here on the TV, and no doubt that's not going to end here. Going to continue this week as we jump off and head back in time one more time. WWF Superstars of Wrestling, March 18th, 1989. Here we are, WWF Superstars, March the 18th, tape back February 15th, Binghamton, New York at the Broome County Arena. As always, Vince McMahon, Jesse Ventura on the call, and Jesse, again, the balding body, rocking, once again, the Yale sweatshirt. We saw that recently, maybe, was it Saturday night's main event, but Jesse's still wearing it here for these tapings, as he claims he received an honorary doctorate of journalism. I can buy that, Jess. As we head off now to the ring, the reigning Intercontinental Champion, the Ultimate Warrior, taking on Joe Milano. And right out of the gate, we get an insert promo here from the challenger at WrestleMania, Ravishing Rick Rude, who vows to be the Ultimate IC Champ come the pay-per-view. Meanwhile, in the ring, Milano trying to lure the Warrior into chasing him around the outside of the ring, but that fails miserably. UW with some sloppy, really rough offense here, carelessly dumping Joe across the top rope, then whipping him so hard across the ring, Milano stumbles into the corner. But when the Warrior Man gets done tossing Milano around, it's a big wind-up clothesline. Oh my goodness. And then that sets up the Gorilla Press drop and the big splash. Going to give the Ultimate Warrior yet another win. Heading into WrestleMania, the match goes 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So we got the big setup, the super pose down at Royal Rumble 89, a quick chase off the stage at the WrestleMania face-to-face on the primetime special. But otherwise, it's pretty much been Rick Rude taunting the Warrior by interview. Gunning for that IC gold is the Ravishing One. The Ultimate Warrior looking to hold on, and it's all going to come to a head very soon here in WWF 1989 and very soon here on the Grenade as we go off to Update. And Mean Gene Okerlund talking about, well, we're going to go back to Saturday night's main event. Covered it on the last edition of the Grenade. Go back and check it out. Miss Elizabeth's decision of a lifetime. Will she remain with the Macho Man? Will she move on to Hulk Hogan? Nope. She decided she's headed to the neutral corner. Going to be in neither man's corner. Going to represent both of them, so to speak, at WrestleMania 5. Miss Liz says, I want no part of this. I hope nobody gets hurt. I wish this whole thing could end another way, but it is what it is. And Miss Liz will be at ringside, but in a neutral corner. Fart in church. Kept waiting for that heel turn. Come on, Liz. Anywho, we go back to the ring for the challengers at WrestleMania, talking about the Powers of Pain with their manager, Mr. Fuji, in their corner. Warlord and Barbarian's opponents this week, Tony Roy and George Scotland. As Jesse Ventura notes that Scotland must be related to Arnold Scotland, that old fat cigar smoking guy that sits in the back. Vince McMahon, not so sure about that. I'll have you guys know George Scotland actually indeed the son of Arnie Scotland, and I have no doubt that Vince knew that. Likely how Scotland even got on the program here, but I love the cursive G that he has on the front of his singlet, and I'm being sarcastic when I say I love that. We go to an insert promo here from Demolition, the tag team champions. They say at WrestleMania 5, Fooge the Stooge, he's going to find out if the Demolition learned everything that he taught him. The tag team titles were the cheese to lure the rat, the big fat rat, Fuji, into the ring. Remember, handicap match at WrestleMania, guys. Demolition defending their titles against the Powers of Pain and Mr. Fuji, a legal competitor in the match. Meanwhile, in the ring here this week, Barbarian just obliterating Scotland. Big boot across the face. Barb must not have liked his payoff from Arnie this week. Scary strength, though, was Barbarian throwing Scotland around the ring. Warlord in, some really hard clubbing shots on Tony Roy. Before he scoops Roy up into a bear hug, Barbarian launching himself off the top rope, that big Barb clothesline, taking Roy down in a doomsday device of sorts, giving the Powers of Pain the win 2 minutes and 21 seconds. And really fun commentary in this one, as Vince McMahon kind of siding with the heels, and he's been doing that a lot lately, thinking that the Powers of Pain are the stronger of the two teams, and they have the odds in their favor by going into WrestleMania 3 versus 2. However, on the other side, it's the heel Jesse Ventura that points out that, yeah, but if the Demolition can get Fuji in the ring, they can easily beat him. I like the dynamic here. Vince kind of siding with the Powers of Pain, Jesse siding with Demolition. So it's really fun right now as we go off to the event center this week. Sean Mooney standing by with the likes of the fabulous Rougeaus, those wacky bushwhackers, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and Bobby Heenan with his brainbusters.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Mooney. Just 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 5. It will happen April 2nd, Sunday afternoon, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. More details on the entire card coming up this hour. But right now, we are going to hear from some of the superstars involved in these great matches, starting off with the fabulous Rougeau brothers. They are joined by Jimmy Hart.
What a fabulous event, guys. WrestleMania 5. And what's a great way to kick it off? Hey, with the fabulous Rougeau brothers. Hey, do you think for 2 minutes, Bushwhackers, you're going to come and push these two boys around?
And that's right, Bushwhackers. Remember one thing, guys. After WrestleMania 5, we'll still be alive.
Here we go, Cousin Luke! This is the big one! The big one, cousin! The big one, WrestleMania 5, Cousin Luke! Atlantic City, Cousin! Yeah, we got the Rougeaus sisters, the imposters! Yeah, the imposters! And for the people of the world, we're going to take care of them! We're going to take them, cousin! At WrestleMania 5! WrestleMania 5, Beefcake, and you're climbing in the ring with a champion of champions, the $1 Million Man. And while the diamonds of the $1 Million Belt dazzle and blind you, I will be embarrassing you. Cut my hair? You're not even worthy to cut the hair of my dog, let alone the hair on my head. And if I even see those scissors, Virgil, show him the guns. This is what you'll deal with, along with embarrassment and defeat by the $1 Million Man.
Well, after WrestleMania 5, you people have seen the last of Strikeforce. You know, one time only, they're coming back together trying to burst our party. It's not gonna happen.
All the gamblers, all the heavy bettors are betting on them. It's a one-time unique situation. We've been bet against all our life. We like to buck the odds, because when you're a long shot, you really clean up. You know what I'm saying?
See WrestleMania 5, Sunday afternoon, April 2nd, live on giant screen closed-circuit TV at a location near you or on a pay-per-view basis. Call your local cable company for availability.
Well, everybody gearing up for WrestleMania, the Rougeaus versus the Bushwhackers. DiBiase has Beefcake, and of course the Brainbusters taking on the reuniting Strikeforce. As Stridex Wipeout presents the Twin Towers in the ring, getting the job done with the Boss Man Slam, Air Africa, the big 747 splash of Hakeem, Stridex Wipeout. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. The Twin Towers, wiping out a couple more underneath opponents this week, although I think I've mentioned this in the past. I was more of an Oxy guy. Oxycute him. From there, we hear from Run DMC, who are coming to WrestleMania to sing a very special WrestleMania rap. Jesse Ventura wondering if Slick will be with them. Now that would have been awesome. I would have paid for that. That's money, guys. As we go back to the ring singles action, going to see King Haku with Bobby Heenan by his side, taking on Tony Causey. Or is that Tommy Causey? could be a typo here. On the chyron, of course. I would never make that mistake. Bobby Heenan asking the fans to bow and kneel before the king, but the crowd obviously doesn't exactly follow Bobby's orders, but if they knew Haku, the man, they might have taken note and listened. Anywho, Causey has no option but to listen here. Haku quickly demolishing poor Causey down to the mat, sidesteps the dropkick attempt. Well, good try there, Causey, but he thrust kick to the face. Ends it every time. Haku going over just 1 minute and 30 seconds. Now, the announcers in this one, they spent one sentence promoting the big Hercules Haku match at WrestleMania before spending the remainder of the segment discussing Bobby Heenan and the Red Rooster. Kind of tells you where this match is on the WrestleMania card, but it will kick off the show, and it's not too bad if I remember correctly. But obviously spending some time promoting the Brain, taking on Terry Taylor, as we go off to Hillbilly Jim. Random promo here this week, a VTR of Hillbilly sharing his thoughts on the Mega Powers explosion as part of WrestleMania. Hillbilly says he'd bet the farm that Hulk Hogan will come out on top. Boy, howdy. I think that's actually Granny's farm, though, Hillbilly, not yours. May want to call that gambling problem number. Hillbilly betting the farm on a match. A predetermined match, but maybe he's got some insides. I don't know. As we go off back to the ring tag team action, going to see Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, the Rockers, taking on Iron Mike Sharp and Mitch Casey. We get an insert promo here from the Twin Towers and Slick, who are looking to crush the Rockers at WrestleMania. Going to show them the new meaning of rock and roll all across the ring. Jesse Ventura says the Rockers are entering the big leagues now, the very big leagues, if you get my drift. But the body forgets one thing. Jess, the Rockers are in fact tag team specialists. Woo! Speaking of, we head to the ring. Excellent speed. Lots of double teaming here by the Rockers on both Casey and Sharp, as you'd expect. Casey finally drops Michaels and climbs to the top rope, but Shawn simply kips up to his feet, slamming Casey center ring. Double drop kick from the Rockers going to send Mike Sharp out to the floor, and a double fist drop off the top rope going to put Casey away. The Rockers looking good as always here. Get a win, 3 minutes and 12 seconds coming for the Twin Towers. At this point in the program, the middle event center sees Sean Mooney quickly running down the WrestleMania 5 card. And even though we have the report later and tons of other promos throughout, they are really hyping the card here for WrestleMania 5. 14 matches plus the return of Rowdy Roddy Piper. I can't wait to get there. We're just a few weeks away here in 89 time. But right now we go back to the ring to see Mr. Perfect take on Nelson Valu, as Jesse uses the term hornswoggle early in this match, and Vince going to hold on to that term, saving it for the 2000s. They do use this match, however, to promote the entire undercard for WrestleMania, name-dropping random matches like Ronnie Garvin and Dino Bravo, and of course, Mr. Perfect battling the Blue Blazer. Speaking of, we get an insert promo here from the Blazer. He says he's going to be getting the 1, 2, 3, and in the perfect streak of Mr. P. Not exactly the best promo here from Owen Hart, but the Blazer was never known for good promos back here in the 80s. Hennig, though, still in his generic blue trunks, I should mention, not for long, dominating Valu, but Nelson going to surprise Curt Hennig late in the match, landing a pair of big body slams, but missing a dropkick. Mostly. Kind of caught him on the shoulder. Perfect, though, back off to the races. Awesome running dropkick to the face of Valu. And then he says he's going to show us something we haven't seen, at least here in syndicated TV. Mr. P going up top for a missile dropkick straight to the face of Valu, followed by the perfect plex, gets the win. 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Still undefeated, Mr. Perfect. At this point in the program, it's off to the Brother Love Show with guest the Red Rooster.
This guy is something else. Yeah. The Red Rooster taking a look at that hairdo, Jesse, huh? What do you mean, hack? Rooster giving Brother Love the once-over.
What exactly do you think that you are? I am the Red Rooster. What exactly are you?
What a question that is.
Well, you see, I am a
How much time do you have?
Love. And I limited size, limited strength, and limited ability. He took you to stardom. What makes you think you can beat him? Because he's nothing but a low-down, nothing-happening weasel. And you're talking about him teaching me everything. He comes out here and he's supposed to take credit for everything. Well, this is one time that the student is going to surpass the teacher. And yeah, he taught me how to win. Now in WrestleMania 5, I'm going to teach him how to lose.
All right.
Well, you know, little Rooster, you're going to be just like all those other roosters. After they've been lucked and beaten, you're going to be out chasing some old hen in the barnyard. Wait. I want you to stop everything. I want everybody to take a picture here. I want you to stop and take a picture. Because on this side, you're going to take a picture of the Red Rooster. And on this side, you're going to take a picture of a big turkey.
The Red Rooster will be strutting his stuff at WrestleMania against Bobby Heenan.
Brother Love introduces his little Red Rooster, so he says here, who struts his stuff before kicking off his promo with a cock-a-doodle-doo. Literally starts the promo with an Oh, brother, what are we doing here, Terry? Brother Love, though, says the Rooster has no brains to want to wrestle a man with all the brains in Bobby Heenan come WrestleMania. Heenan took a man with limited size, limited strength, and limited ability, and he took him to stardom. Rooster says the student will surpass the teacher. Come WrestleMania, Bobby Heenan, you taught Terry Taylor how to win. Now Terry's going to teach you how to lose, Weasel. Brother Love thinks the Rooster will be back to chasing hens around the barnyard after the pay-per-view. Rooster then asking Brother Love to pose for pictures. On one side, they'll have the picture of the Rooster, and on the other side, a big, fat turkey. Oh my, this is not good for the career of Terry Taylor, who, I guess you could have bought it up front. Hey, I'm keeping this name to stick it to you, Bobby Heenan. On paper, theoretically, yeah, maybe that you could buy into that, but to immediately turn this guy into an actual walking, talking rooster is another fucking story altogether. As we go off now, ladies and gentlemen, the WrestleMania 5 report, as we hear our final interviews leading into the big pay-per-view. Listen up closely, guys. We're going to hear from both sides. Hulk Hogan challenger and the WWF champion, the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
The Mega Powers will explode in the wrestling matchup of a lifetime. By the way, earlier on, you heard the decision of Miss Elizabeth. She has made it official. She will be in a neutral corner when the Mega Powers explode. World Wrestling Federation champion Macho Man Randy Savage defended against this man, challenger and longtime champion Hulk Hogan.
You know something, Macho Man? Now that I've had time to think about you, brother, I have to admit one thing. You're pretty darn good at what you've been doing lately, man. You've had the whole WWF in a turmoil, brother. I have to also admit that you've had each and every one of my little Hulkamaniacs living right on the edge, brother. They didn't know if they were going all the way down or all the way up with you, brother. The way you lied, man. The way you twisted the truth. The deceitful train of thought you've been following, brother. All the edited footage you've been trying to shove down everybody's throat. It backfired on you, dude. You boxed yourself in, Macho Man. Simply because you gave me too much time, brother. Too much time to cover my back, brother. I had time to regroup, tell my side of the story, show my Hulkamaniacs what the real truth was, brother. And finally, I exposed you, Macho Man. That little game you've been playing, brother, is all over with now. Because we know the rules. We know what you're all about. You're a liar, brother. You're the one that was jealous of me and all my Hulkamaniacs, and the fact that the mania is twice as powerful as the madness. And finally, you're the one with the lust in your eyes, brother. You always wanted to be the champion, but you knew as long as Hulk Hogan was around, you could never be the man that everybody expected you to be. But now, Macho Man, it's all laid out, brother. In WrestleMania 5, the madness is going to meet the mania. And when you divided this Mega Power team, you stepped over the line. And when you stepped over the line, brother, you stepped over and you stood all alone. But on my side, it's still me and all my little Hulksters with the 3 demandments of the training, the prayers, and the vitamins, brother. And that's what you're gonna face in WrestleMania 5. And you know something, Macho Man? You can fool just a few of the Hulkamaniacs a few of the times, brother. But when the big picture came down, there's no way you could fool all the Hulkamaniacs all of the time. And in WrestleMania 5, Macho Man, you and the Madness have run out of time. 2 big differences between the Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan, yeah. One big difference is that Hulk Hogan needs all those Hulkamaniacs out there, yeah, for support, yeah, to tap him on the back as he goes down that aisle. And when he runs out of energy and he's down in the gutter, he needs the momentum, yeah, to get him back up, to keep fighting, yeah. And all the times that I was a mega power partner, I didn't need them at all. They were clapping out there, but they were clapping for you, Hulk Hogan, because they know what kind of a prima donna you are, yeah. And if they don't know, they're brainwashed, yeah. I'm gonna tell you something. All those Hulkamaniacs out there, they make me sick. Yeah, I don't call them Hulkamaniacs like you do, yeah, Hulk Hogan. I call them something else, yeah. Not Hulksters, no. Pukesters. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, Hulkamaniacs, no. Pukamaniacs. That's what they are. You need them. I don't need them. And there's something else I don't need. Yeah, just dawned on me. Yeah, Elizabeth, you want to be in a neutral corner? It's fine, because I don't need you either, yeah. I'm going to tell you something, Elizabeth. You just do one thing, and that's take the belt and give it to the champion at the end of the match. And that'll be the Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah. And oh, yeah, Hulk Hogan, there's one more big difference between you and the Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah. Big difference. I am the World Wrestling Federation Champion, yeah. And you will never be. No, you will never be, yeah.
Hulk Hogan admitting that the Macho Man, he had all his Hulkamaniacs swerved, man. But it all backfired when Macho Man showed all the edited footage in these recent vignettes. But he gave Hulk time to expose him, brother. Hulk exposed Savage, dude. It was Randy who had lust in his eyes, but not for Elizabeth, rather the WWF title. Randy knew as long as Hulk Hogan was around, he could never be the man. But now at WrestleMania 5, the madness meets the mania. Savage crossed the line. He goes into WrestleMania alone now. But Hulk Hogan has all of his Hulkamaniacs. The madness has run out of time. Fun little quicker promo here this week from the two. As we also heard from the other side, Randy Savage stating there are 2 big differences between the Macho Man and the Hulkster. Number 1, Hogan, he needs the Hulkamaniacs for support. He needs their momentum. Savage never needed the fans. They were never clapping for him, only for Hogan. The fans are brainwashed. They make Macho sick. He now refers to the Hulkamaniacs as the Pukamaniacs, the Pukesters. Dig it. Savage, he doesn't need Elizabeth either. She can stay in her neutral corner. Just do one thing for me, Liz. Take the belt at the end of the match and give it to the champion. And that's going to be the Macho Man. Now, the other difference between the two, Savage is the WWF champion and Hulk Hogan will never be again. You got to love these promos back and forth every week. 2 of the best to ever do it here, especially on the grand stage. Savage, always an amazing promo. Hogan, when he was focused and he had an actual opponent, like a serious opponent, like Randy Savage was amazing in what he did as well. And these guys are knocking it out of the park each and every week. It's almost a crime that these promos have to come to an end. And at the end of that, we also hear from the fans who discuss who they think will win the big Mega Powers Explosion match at WrestleMania. And it's mostly a toss-up, half and half. I think we get 1 extra vote for Hogan, of course. And I noted even some of the fans kind of trepidatious in voting for Hogan, kind of stating that I hope he wins, but you never really know here because the Macho Man is on par right now with Hulk Hogan. They are equals in many ways. The Mega Powers explode. WrestleMania 5 as Superstars rolls on. We go back to a Saturday night's main event replay of Brutus Beefcake versus Rick Rude. Of course, that ends in the schmoz when Andre the Giant, Jake Roberts, and Big John Studd all get involved. Kind of a setup there. kind of a play into their big match at WrestleMania. As we conclude this edition of Superstars, the hard sell for WrestleMania can't get any harder. Or is that hotter? Either way, working overtime on promoting the big pay-per-view, but doing an amazing job with it. Really starting to give some of the undercard matches some shine, even if there's no backstory. We hear from a lot of the guys involved in the mid-card, if you will, of WrestleMania this week, and more from Hogan and Savage. Man, it's going to be a fun time when we get there, but right now we head off to the March 19th edition of the WWF's Wrestling Challenge. All right, it is Challenge for March the 19th, tape back February 16th, Hershey, Pennsylvania, Hershey Park Arena, Bobby Heenan, Gorilla Monsoon on commentary. And we saw the challengers on Superstars. Now we see the tag team champions Demolition in action here on Wrestling Challenge, taking on Dave Coleman and John Weiss, who is the future ECW's Johnny Hotbody. No mistaking in that haircut. We get an insert promo here from Mr. Fuji and the Powers of Pain, who say, without Fuji, the Demolition are nothing, boy-san. Powers of Pain looking to take the titles at WrestleMania. Meanwhile, in the ring, no playing around this week by the tag team champions. It's immediate demolish and destroy from Smash on David Coleman. Then the future Johnny Hotbody tags in for more of the same. Nasty, stiff Smash clothesline leading to the Demolition decapitation, getting the win 1 minute and 41 seconds. Demolition primed and ready for their title defense, looking very aggressive this week, as they should. But there's something about Barry Darsow this week, adding a little extra oomph in all of his offense on Coleman and Johnny Hotbody as we go off to a special report with Lord Alfred Hayes. Again, he covers the decision of a lifetime made by Miss Elizabeth to be in the neutral corner. What a decision. I didn't even know that was an option. Leave it to Liz. As we go back to the ring, Dino Bravo, Canada's strongest man, Frenchie Martin in his corner, not for long, taking on Tim Sawyer as Ronnie Garvin cuts in with an insert promo. He says Dino Bravo will find out just how rugged Ronnie can be at WrestleMania. And after about 30 seconds of stalling, Sawyer finally surprising Bravo by reversing a whip in the corner, catching Dino with a hip toss on the way back out, but Sawyer missing an elbow drop and the Canadian strongman taking over. It's not long, folding back suplex and the side suplex, Jess. Going to get the win 1 minute and 37 seconds. More Run DMC talking their WrestleMania rap, and the action just keeps rolling on this week. Jake the Snake Roberts battling Alan Kinsey as we get an insert promo here from the Snake Man, who says he's ready for WrestleMania, warning Andre the Giant to take that chance, man. Roll the dice in Atlantic City. They might just come up snake eyes. Well played there from Jake Roberts. Well played in the ring as well as he plays with his prey. Poor Alan Kinsey not giving him any offense this week, leading to the short arm clothesline and DDT, putting him away 2 minutes and 25 seconds. And a little Damian fun will follow here. It's very noticeable here, especially in the babyface matches heading into WrestleMania. They want to look aggressive. They want to look ready for their opponents. Of course, Demolition has the Powers of Pain. Jake has Andre. And usually Jake likes to give his opponents a little offense. He didn't do that here this week. He dominated and looked good doing it. As we go back to the event center, Sean Mooney again running down the WrestleMania card here on Challenge. So we roll back to the ring, singles action. Got to see the Intercontinental Champion Challenger ravishing Rick Rude at WrestleMania with Bobby Heenan in his corner, taking on Terry Daniels. Back for another taping. Rick Rude trashing the Hershey Heifers while he takes off his robe and shows off that body, but also verbally taunting the Ultimate Warrior on the mic stick this week. Meanwhile, the action begins. Terry Daniels surprising Rude early with a sunset flip, but runs straight into a ravishing snap power slam. A little hip swivel action there in between moves before Rude delivering an atomic drop straight into the Rude Awakening. And just like that, Rick Rude gets the win in just 1 minute and 11 seconds. Talk about aggressive. Post-match, we set things up for the Rude Awakening kiss, but Bobby Heenan says the lady coming to the ring was not the woman that he picked out for the ravishing one. Rude replying that, hey lady, even if you lost 50 pounds, fixed your hair, brushed your teeth, you still wouldn't be good enough to even do my dirty laundry. Woof. Heenan claiming the lady, wearing a simply ravishing shirt, by the way, that she smelled like chocolate. I don't really get the inside scoop there, but I hope she was a plant, because they were very rude to her. And for the record, if that skinny lady that was in the ring lost 50 pounds, she might weigh 70. I'm just saying. So felt like a plant. Obviously, I don't think they would do this to a fan. And the lady not exactly selling it, but at the same time didn't look surprised at the comments being made by Rude and Bobby Heenan here. No kiss this week, as Rude needs to prepare for his big title match. So we continue on to the special interview platform. Mean Gene Okerlund standing by with Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Beefer shaming the $1 Million Man for having to purchase something he could never win, a championship belt. Brudite making it clear here, he's not coming for DiBiase's gold. He's simply coming to give him a new hairstyle, courtesy of the barber. And I think I touched on this a couple weeks ago, but no real backstory for the match, Beefcake and DiBiase, but they've given both sides a little time to hype the match at the very least. So I'll give them credit there. As we go off to the WrestleMania 5 report, a replay of the Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage promos. Got to get those in. And we close out this week's challenge with the Bushwhackers taking on Los Conquistadors. The masked duo going to attack the Whackers as they enter the ring, and we're off to the races early here. Luke and Butch, they'll wind up turning the tides, whipping the masked duo into one another. The four-way fight, though, continues as the masked men telegraph backdrops, both men getting dropped down to the mat. And finally, we get some semblance of a tag team match. Butch landing a backdrop, mate. Doing a wrestling move here. As Conquistador Jose Estrada leapfrogs Luke, he turns around but runs right into a battering ram from the Bushwhackers, followed by the double gutbuster, putting Estrada away. Numero dos, I do believe that is. And the Bushwhackers will get the win, 1 minute and 35 seconds. Solid double team spot there. You wouldn't expect it from the Bushwhackers, I'll put it that way. Estrada leapfrogging Luke, only to find out that Butch was tagged in, and the Bushwhackers running right into the battering ram there, they get the win. Prepping for their match with the fabulous Rougeaus. Going to have to be cute to beat Jacques and Raymond as we go off to the event center this week. Sean Mooney going to talk to the likes of the Twin Towers, the Rockers, and the $1 Million Man.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Mooney. It is WrestleMania 5 coming your way just 2 weeks from now, April 2nd, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday afternoon, live from Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino. So many great matches. Right now, some of the participants are standing by.
Okay, Rockins, yes, I must admit that your entry into the World Wrestling Federation was nothing short of spectacular. And yes, you've made outstanding accomplishments. But ask yourself the question, can you really deal with the awesomeness of the Twin Towers? Here's a man 6 feet 9 inches, 510 pounds. A man 6 feet 6 inches, 357 pounds. Can you deal with it? Brother, when the Twin Towers meet the Rockers, you will fall. What are the ladies going to think about the pretty boy Rockers when they're destroyed in WrestleMania 5? Tell me that! Tell me that now!
Well, I tell you what, the Rockers' first trip to WrestleMania, and we are flying high. You know, everyone's wondering how the Rockers are going to deal with the Twin Towers. Well, I tell you what, we're calling it the Rockers' Wrecking Crew, and they're coming to knock down the Twin Towers. Isn't that right?
That's right. Listen up, Keem and Big Boss Man. You done told everybody how you're going to beat us up, but you didn't explain how you're going to get your hands on this greased lightning, because we're going to be up and down and all around, boys, so your heads are spinning around. And oh, yeah, let me just say one thing to you, Mr. Slickster. If you decide to stick your nose into business a little bit, we'll make it just a little bit flatter than it is already, boy. Woo! Yeah.
2 weeks away, Beefcake. 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 5. Atlantic City, New Jersey, a place where money and wealth is what it's all about. What a better place for me to be. The $1 Million Man and the $1 Million Belt. The $1 Million Champion, that's right. You're going to walk into that ring, and these diamonds and gold are going to dazzle you and blind you. And while you're blinded, Beefcake, and looking at this belt, I'm going to beat you into the ground. Haircut? There'll be no haircut given. Maybe when it's all over and done, you can go down to the local barber shop or poodle shop and get yourself a job.
Well, we hear from both sides of the big upcoming tag team match, the Twin Towers and the Rockers. Huge difference in size, but I'm looking forward to that one. Also, DiBiase coming for Brutus Beefcake. We heard from Brutus with Mean Gene, so DiBiase gets a little commentary here at the end of the program as we roll off now to the March 20th edition of WWF Primetime Wrestling.
everyone, and welcome to Primetime Wrestling. I'm Gorilla Monsoon, and I'm shocked that you even bothered to show up. You ran out of here last week like a thief in the night.
Yes, I did. I ran out of here real quick.
It was very pleasant for me to close the show with the mighty Hercules.
Well, the reason I left is I'm not going to sit here.
Scared to death. That's why you left.
The man's 260 pounds and got 85 feet of chain with him.
Well,
yes.
You're about 260 pounds, aren't
no,
you?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not.
I'm down. Lost 22 pounds.
You have.
Getting ready for the Rooster.
Uh-huh.
Quicker than ever.
Well, you got about a couple of weeks left.
I can go in my room now and turn the light off and be in bed before the room's dark. That's how fast I am.
Well, you got a room at the Holland Hotel?
Where's that?
Oh, forget it.
You don't have to wear wooden shoes, do you?
You wouldn't know where that is anyway. Talk about outstanding matches. We've got some here this week on Primetime Wrestling. Haku's with us. King Haku.
Is Herc with us?
No, Herc is not with us.
Do you have any surprises for me?
No, I have none. Zero. You get all your surprises on April 2nd
then
in
I'm
Atlantic
staying.
City at WrestleMania 5.
That's fine.
The $1 Million Man will take on the Hitman. That is our feature, but I consider some of these other matches features as well. Brutus the Barber Beefcake taking on Ravishing Rick.
That's something right there. I guarantee you
could
one
get a haircut right here.
No, I was just going to say, I'll guarantee you one thing, there'll be no haircuts.
You're going to start.
You started on me.
I could get on the banana phone and have Hercules here in about 10 minutes.
And I can hand you the banana phone and be out of here in
9.
9.
Out of here in 5, right?
How you like that?
Oh, please. Let's start off by going to Odessa, Texas. Jake the Snake
We got a
Roberts
new floor man.
is going to take on Boris
Somebody
Zukov.
made bail.
All right, it is prime time. Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby Heenan. Last week, the Brain ran off set when the mighty Hercules arrived. He's no fool. But Heenan getting into shape. He's lost about 20 pounds, prepping for his match against the Red Rooster. Been about a year since Bobby's been in the ring, of course, last year, scoring a win over Coco. Beware during a 6-man at WrestleMania. But this year, it's going to be one-on-one, Bobby. Now, exclusive matches this week on the program includes from El Paso, Texas, March the 7th, Greg Valentine and the Honky Tonk Man scoring a win over Jim Evans and Tim Horner, White Lightning, 5 minutes and 49 seconds. We also go deep into the vault, going back to Hartford, Connecticut, August 24th of 88. This is 2 weeks in a row, I feel like, that they've pulled out a Dino Bravo match from the summer of 88 for whatever reason. And it is Bravo defeating Tito Santana on a countout. That goes a whopping 13 minutes and 20 seconds here of killing time on Primetime Wrestling. Also, 2 matches taped March the 8th in Odessa, Texas, the County Coliseum. Jake Roberts defeating Boris Zukov in the DDT match goes about 6:45, and this is a really fun one to close out the show. Bret the Hitman Hart battling the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, to a double countout. The match goes 16 minutes of action there. The 2 men fighting on the floor, and I'm looking forward to covering this one as part of Best of the WWF Volume 19 coming up soon on the Coliseum videocast, because that was a fun one to run through here on Primetime Wrestling. The Hitman and DiBiase, and you get tons of build for WrestleMania in between those exclusive matches. Other matches shown, of course, for the weekend. We move on to the next week, the final week of action before WrestleMania. But before we get there, we're going to take this quick WrestleCopia timeout.
Relive the glory days of Memphis wrestling with the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast. Each week, we go back in time to review USWA Championship Wrestling from the 1990s, episode by episode. Join us for watch-alongs, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive interviews with people who were there and lived it. Whether you grew up watching it or you're discovering it for the first time, this podcast is your ringside seat to Memphis wrestling history. It's all a part of the WrestleCopia Podcast Network. Listen now at USWApodcast.com.
Hey guys, Ray Russell back to talk to you about all the new and exciting audio and video podcasts we've been putting together over at patreon.com/WrestleCopia. As a self-funded brand, this entire ship is powered by our patrons. It's your support that keeps all of these wonderful shows going here at WrestleCopia. And with that said, I wanted to mention that we now have 3 major tiers with tons of Patreon-exclusive next-level content for our Patreon supporters. And it all starts with the $5 all-access tier, which gets you early access to many of the weekly podcasts, at least a dozen monthly digital downloads for your viewing and reading pleasure, the insanely detailed show notes for the Wrestling Memory Grenade Regional Wrestling, and the OG Monday Warfare podcast, plus random bonus video drops, archived old-school audio watch-alongs from the early years of the brand. And if that's not all, the brand new Patreon-exclusive podcast, Ranting Raw, featuring yours truly, Ray Russell, completely uncensored, unfiltered with honest takes, taking patron questions and addressing various topics from throughout wrestling history. It is a whole lot of fun wrapped under the All Access tier for only $5, but things get even hotter with the VIP Superfan tier. For just a few dollars more, you get everything already mentioned in the All Access tier, plus as part of the VIP tier, a whole new slew of videocast series where it's not just your typical watch-alongs. Sure, we laugh, we have fun, but we're also breaking down the history, the context, and the why behind what you're seeing. And as part of the VIP tier, you have access to Dan Ginnity's Puro Resu Academy videocast, the Coliseum videocast with co-host Gene Jackson, and the Monday Warfare videocast, Raw vs. Nitro, breaking down the history of the Monday Night War. Plus, you also get the Memphis 1985 folder of goodies and all show notes for the Puro Academy podcast and Gene's retro review show. Lots to be had there at the VIP tier. But wait, there's more. For those WrestleCopia backers who crave even more from the brand, we bring you yet another level of content fit for a warrior, because it is indeed the ultimate tier, which gives you everything from the All Access Pass, everything from the VIP tier, plus you will receive access to the big ones video series featuring a lengthy look and discussion into some of the biggest pay-per-views, super shows, and other events from throughout wrestling history. It's also a great place to keep up with the big events that coincide with the Monday Warfare videocast and so many other big events from years gone by. You'll also have access to the newest big hit to the Copia brand. I'm talking about Regional Wrestling Unreeled, the video series. Get ready for the next level in regional wrestling as we dissect territory history in video form. Watch along with us. But still, even more for your money, guys. You'll also receive access to the Treasure Chest, which offers patrons the unique opportunity to download and watch select rarities from wrestling history. And for those of you who are wondering what we offer, are contemplating joining a paid Patreon membership, or simply a curious lurker, a reminder there's a free tier at our Patreon that you can join as well. Remember, guys, no subscription, cancel any time, but I think you'll like the content that we're offering there for any budget you may have. And you can sign up right now, patreon.com/WrestleCopia, or look for the QR code where available. We appreciate your support in helping us pay the bills to keep the WrestleCopia podcast network running and enabling us to continue to bring you all the quality programming that we offer.
This is Wrestling Nostalgia, the podcast that dives into wrestling history. Hey, wrestling fans, I'm Dave Dynasty, and if you enjoy podcasts that are knowledgeable and history-driven, then Wrestling Nostalgia is for you. With great guests and fun interviews, there are over 200 episodes in our archives. We chat with several first-time guests and often cover topics not discussed on other podcasts. Look up Wrestling Nostalgia on your favorite podcast platform and visit all of our links at linktree/WrestlePod. That is linktr.ee/RASSLEPOD. And remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, be good, be safe, and keep on growing.
All right, guys, welcome back to the program. Things are exploding right now over there at Patreon. We've got a new program, Regional Wrestling Presents, as we begin the deep dive into the St. Louis Wrestling Project. Also, tons of new shows coming to Regional Wrestling, the podcast, including the Georgia War of the 1970s. Of course, more on the St. Louis Wrestling History Project. We're going to go back to Championship Wrestling from Florida in 1980, look at AWA from the ESPN era, and so much more. Stay tuned over there at our sister show, Regional Wrestling, where we talk the territories. But right now, we go back to the WWF in 1989, heading back to Superstars again for March the 25th. New set of tapings, tape March 7th, El Paso, Texas, at the Convention Center. It's Vince McMahon and Jesse Ventura on commentary. We go off to the ring for singles action, kicking things off right. Rick Martel out here with Tito Santana in his corner. Martel's opponent, Iron Mike Sharp. So Rick accompanied by Santana for the match, but with his own theme music here. I don't think that was Strikeforce playing there. Girls in Cars, the instrumental. But Martel now billed from Cocoa Beach, Florida, no longer from Canada here. We get an insert promo from the Brainbusters, the other side of the match at WrestleMania. They state that, yeah, Strikeforce, you've looked great in singles matches, but the name of the game at the pay-per-view is tag team wrestling, something the Busters excel in. Looking forward to their match with Strikeforce. As we go back to the action here, lots of loud shouting by Iron Mike in the ring, but not quite as effective physically is the Iron Man. Martel backflipping over top of a hammerlock to escape rebounds with the drop kick, locking in that patented Boston Crab to get the submission win. 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Santana greeting his partner's victory with a big hug and a high five. It looks like Strikeforce, they're back together again. And Martel looking great here this week. Even Ventura points it out, but it's still, you got to admit, slightly peculiar that Strikeforce has failed to team even one time before WrestleMania. Speaking of, we go off to Update and Mean Gene, the WrestleMania 5 rundown, then back to the ring, more singles action. Canadian strongman Dino Bravo with Frenchie Martin making his final syndicated appearance here. Bravo battling Louis Spicolli this week. We get another insert promo from Ronnie Garvin, who admits that Dino Bravo, he's strong, but just how much heart do you have, Dino? You're going to find out when you get in the ring with rugged Ron Garvin at WrestleMania. Some really odd commentary here because even though Ventura puts Garvin over, Vince McMahon almost mentions Garvin like he's an outside guy that's coming in. Vince even kind of feels like he has to mention that some people refer to him as rugged Ronnie Garvin. Vince acts like he doesn't even know who this guy is. So kind of peculiar here. Vince McMahon's sell job of Ronnie Garvin. It's like he's employed, but maybe not. We got a lot more coming for Ronnie Garvin in the months to come. We'll save that for then right now. Meanwhile, we get huge USA chants during this match. Boy, would the fans be upset if they found out that Garvin was also from Canada. But huge USA chants here as Louis Spicolli rallying with the crowd, which only pisses Bravo off, who mauls Louis down to the mat. Double underhook suplex, big elbow drop, followed by a pile driver, leading to an airplane spin to set up the side suplex. Going to get the win. 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Dino Bravo ready for Ronnie Garvin. I don't know if Frenchie can say the same. At this point, we go off to the fans in the crowd, the fans of the WWF, and how they will be watching WrestleMania. Now a sellout at Trump Plaza. The only way to watch it, well, the fans are going to be watching on pay-per-view or by closed circuit TV. A simple segment to remind us all how we can watch WrestleMania now that it is sold out. Then back to the ring, more action. Going to see the Mighty Hercules battle big, tall Tim Patterson. We get an insert promo here from King Haku, who states after he beats Hercules at WrestleMania, Hercules will indeed be forced to bow at his feet. I don't know about that one, Haku. We'll have to wait and see. But right now in the ring, it's a series of jabs. Fun combo here from Herc, landing a big clothesline across the face of Patterson, a vertical suplex, and the torture rack backbreaker, getting the submission win in only 2 minutes and 9 seconds. And again, I've said it on the other episodes of TV so far, but lots of aggression here from the baby faces leading into the pay-per-view. They got to look ready for their heel opponents. As we go off now to the event center, going to promote one of the big matches coming to WrestleMania. We're going to hear from all three men involved, talking about Jake the Snake Roberts, his opponent Andre the Giant, and special referee Big John Studd.
This Sunday, my man, in Atlantic City, all the talk has got to stop. Because when you put two men in the ring, brother, and you ring the bell and you tell them, hey, this is going around the world, closed circuit, everybody's getting a chance to see this. Do you think either one of us wants to come out a loser? No. No, sir, I don't think so. But this match has been hard coming, hasn't it? I mean, after all, we have to employ John Studd, the referee, to be the authority in the ring. That way, I won't supposedly get to my snake, and Bobby the Brain Heenan will stay in his place. Well, that's fine. Andre the Giant, you have been a legend in this business. A legend for years. Well, my man, the only way to become a legend in this business is to take out a legend. And this Sunday, the DDT will do just that.
Well, I hope you're ready, Mr. Roberts, because I've had it up to here with snakes. I've had it up to here with you, John Studd. There's only one way to end it all. That's turn this man loose.
And I'm loose, because, Jake, I've been wrestling for quite a while, and I never lost a match. And this Sunday, believe me, when I go get out of the ring, I will be a winner again. I don't know the way I have to do it, but I will do it one way or another.
Stud, don't get in the way.
This Sunday afternoon, Andre the Giant, you better be watching out. And Jake the Snake, you better be watching out because 6'10", 380 pounds, Big John Studd will be watching both of you in WrestleMania 5.
Well, there you hear from all three sides. Jake very much still in this thing. He believes he has what it takes to defeat Andre the Giant. That may be the thing in his bag, in his sack, if you will. I'm talking about Damien, guys. Get your minds out of the gutter. Meanwhile, it feels like they're kind of pivoting already, and I don't believe it's just me. I mean, there's been a lot of Andre and John Studd showdowns recently, stare-offs, if you will, and it's kind of leading to post-Mania matches between the two big giants. Spoiler alert. I got to warn everybody. But it's almost like we're looking past Jake to get to that big, literally large feud after WrestleMania, something that I'm not looking forward to, and I would have to imagine most of the listeners aren't either. But again, we'll have to see how that plays out. Right now, we go back to the ring for Hacksaw Jim Duggan taking on the Black Knight. We get an insert promo here from Duggan's opponent at WrestleMania, Bad News Brown, who talks Hacksaw Jim Dummy. Says the madness will be coming down on Duggan. I don't know if Randy Savage got wind of this promo or not, but Bad News referring to himself as the madness, bringing it down on Hacksaw Jim at the pay-per-view. Meanwhile, in the ring, the Black Knight, a.k.a. Big Bill Anderson under that hood. Hacksaw Duggan turning his back not once but twice in the match, which he better not do, to Bad News. Now, the Knight attacking Duggan both times, getting in some good sucker shots, so that the announcers can point out that if you do that to Bad News Brown, you may not be able to make the comeback, Hacksaw. But the Black Knight making the mistake, going up top, getting slammed off, and Duggan setting him straight up for the three-point stance, and the running clothesline, going to get the win for old Hacksaw this week. 2 minutes and 8 seconds, looking for that big battle of the brutes at WrestleMania. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Bad News Brown. This week, another promo here from the Macho Man Randy Savage, referring to Hulk Hogan. It's a prima donna, a grandstander, and a hot dog. A hot dog is Hulk Hogan. Jealous of the Macho Man being the WWF champion, and of course lust and the black heart of the Hulkster for the lovely Liz. Hogan has brainwashed his pukamaniacs. Savage reminding us all that while Hogan is not the WWF champion, he is the champion of brainwashing and manipulating people's minds. I'll go along with that. He says Hulk doesn't know the madness at all, but he will get to know Savage very good at WrestleMania 5. Going to drop the big elbow and beat the Hulkster 1-2-3. Randy Savage walking out of the pay-per-view, still WWF champion. Great promo there from Randy Savage, perhaps his final promo before the big one. Then it's back to the ring tag team action. Going to see Jacques and Raymond, the fabulous Rougeaus brothers, battling Sam Houston and Stephane De Leon. We get an insert promo here from the Bushwhackers looking ready for their match against the Rougeaus at the pay-per-view. Jacques in the ring wanting a handshake from Sam Houston, but while Sam is contemplating, kind of torn in deciding if he wants to shake the hand of Jacques. Look out behind! Raymond Rougeau attacking Sam Houston. Sam, you got to be better than that. But in comes De Leon to even the odds. And we actually turn this thing into a four-way melee, all four guys in the ring. Houston going to surprise Jacques with a crossbody, get a near fall. But Raymond with an awesome savate kick sends Sam over the top rope and out to the floor. The Rougeaus then going to dominate De Leon. Jacques dropkick straight to the face of Stephane, and just some excellent asshole heel double teaming here. Very aggressive, and the Rougeau bomb gets the win. 2 minutes and 22 seconds here for the fabulous Rougeaus. And Sam Houston on the list of guys like the Conquistadors and Frenchie Martin, they're going to be finishing up here, heading into the pay-per-view. This is pretty much it for the solid talent of Sam Houston, who was never really used for much here in the WWF, outside of a dance partner for Danny Davis for the better part of a year. Those two really went at it on the house shows, Hammer and Tong. But this may be it for TV purposes in regards to Sam Houston. He does finish up here. I did mention on another program a few weeks back, he'll pop back up as a replacement here for the Blue Blazer and Coco Beware later in the year on the house shows, but for all intents and purposes, this is the swan song for old Sam. As we go off to the Brother Love show this week, his guest, we heard from the champion Randy Savage. Of course, Hulk Hogan going to get some last-minute comments, and the Hulkster joining the Brother Love set and states, now that we know what Randy Savage is really all about, man, Macho Man is the one that is guilty as charged of being jealous. Hulkster doubling down that he never had lust. He never lusted for Elizabeth. He loved her like a sister. Loved? Is that past tense, Hulk? Randy Savage took all the shortcuts trying to match up to Hulk Hogan, trying to level off equal to the Hulkster. And then the Macho Man snapped when he couldn't live up to the standards of Hulkamania back in Milwaukee. He wasn't man enough to be in the same ring as Hulk Hogan. This is a face promo? Well, it continues on. Hulk Hogan figured it all out. Finally, dude. And Hulkster is tired of being a champion without wearing the belt. Hulk Hogan taking a vow right now that he will walk out of WrestleMania the WWF champion. Brother. Tired of being champion without wearing the belt. I mean, there's not even an implication there. He's straight up stating that the Macho Man is no champion at all, that the Hulkster was champion all along. And yet somehow this is a babyface promo. Only from the Hulkster. As we go off to our final WrestleMania 5 report, well, we know the 14 matches, we know Run DMC, we know the Hot Rod's going to be back, Morton Downey Jr., Brother Love, etc. And now we find out the final missing piece of the puzzle. Who will be there to sing America the Beautiful? None other than the WWF Women's Champion, Rockin' Robin. Boy, I can't wait for that one. We also hear again from Run DMC, who promised to be at Trump Plaza. God, I hope that was done on purpose. And Mean Gene's standing, I like these guys. And another telegram here from the Hot Rod sent to Mean Gene, supposedly. Roddy stating that the difference between he, Morton Downey, and Brother Love is that Roddy can back up his big mouth. Morton Downey Jr., Brother Love with quick replies here in the WrestleMania 5 report. And that's all going to come to a head at the pay-per-view. As we go back to the ring, one final match here this week on Superstars, featuring the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, as he takes on White Lightning, Tim Horner. Now, as the match gets going, we get an insert promo here from Brutus Beefcake, who remembers all the times that Ted DiBiase humiliated the people, the fans, with his money. All those dastardly deeds, says the barber. Well, come WrestleMania, it's Beefcake's turn to humiliate the $1 Million Man with a brand new haircut. For no backstory, at least they're trying here. I kind of like that. Looking for revenge on behalf of all the fans that DiBiase humiliated, the barber going to humiliate the $1 Million Man with a new hairstyle. I'll buy it. Jesse Ventura putting over the talent of Tim Horner here, stating that DiBiase wanted to be tested before his match with Brutus, so he steps in the ring with a very credible opponent in Tim Horner. DiBiase taunting Horner before the match with the $1 Million belt, and when Tim reaches out to take a look, DiBiase attacks. Nobody touches the $1 Million belt without his permission, but Tim Horner all over the place, hitting the ropes, bouncing, reversing, countering, leading to a pair of drop kicks, taking the $1 Million Man down. DiBiase not happy with that, however, coming right back, landing a series of those patented fist drops, a vertical suplex, and a lovely power slam of one Ted DiBiase, setting up the $1 Million Dream. It's lights out for Tim Horner. DiBiase getting the win, 2 minutes and 57 seconds. And post-match, hey, Tim Horner gets a C note in the throat for his troubles. $1 Million Man Brutus Beefcake, one of the 14 matches going down at WrestleMania. And right now we go back to the event center. Sean Mooney standing by with the Intercontinental Champion, the Ultimate Warrior, and challenger, Ravishing Rick Rude.
WrestleMania 5, right around the corner, Ultimate Warrior, this Sunday. Are you ready for Ravishing Rick Rude? It's not a superpose down, and the crowd won't decide. There's only two men who can decide the outcome, and that is you, or that is I. Now, I don't doubt your strength, I don't doubt your power, and I know just what kind of man you are. But what you don't know, Ultimate Warrior, is what kind of man I am. Now, I'll tell you right now, up front, the Ultimate Warrior is the odds-on favorite. But in the end, Ravishing Rick Rude will be the Ultimate Intercontinental Champion. Rumor has it, Rick Rude, that you by now are a nervous wreck. You didn't understand that by not accepting defeat at Royal Rumble, that the Ultimate Warrior would pounce and come back with even more fire and fury. How must I prepare, you must ask yourself. Should I jump off the tallest building in the world? Should I lay on the lawn and let him run over me with lawnmowers? Should I go to Africa and let him trample me with raging elephants? You, Rick Rude, cannot prepare for the most intense battle that you will have in your entire life. You must live with the fear and the hatred and everything that I am going to bring to you at WrestleMania 5. You, Rick Rude, have no place to run and hide. There is no escape.
Well, the Warrior Man, that was one of the more memorable promos of the era in regards to his battle with Rick Rude, who sounds ready and very confident. No Bobby Heenan there in that promo. It was all Rick Rude, and he is ready for the Warrior. As next week we learn on Superstars, it's going to be a special countdown to WrestleMania 5, a simple recap show, an hour-long infomercial, if you will, to promote the upcoming pay-per-view, which takes place just 8 days away as we go off now to Wrestling Challenge, March the 26th, 1989. Tape back March 8th, new set of tapings here at the Odessa County Coliseum. They actually used this Coliseum, I believe, even back in the old Amarillo territory. But we got some bright lights here this week. Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby Heenan on commentary, heading to the ring. We just saw the $1 Million Man in action. Now we see the other half, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, battling Tim Patterson. As we get an insert promo here from Ted DiBiase, who says Beefcake won't lay a hand on his hair. Won't lay a hand on the hair of the $1 Million Man. DiBiase will outclass the Barber at WrestleMania. Meanwhile, in the ring, the Barber trying to outclass Tim Patterson, toying with Patterson early on, sending him out to the floor with a big atomic drop. Finally, Tim brought back inside the hard way and right into the sleeper hold from the Barber, going to put Patterson out. Match goes 2 minutes and 6 seconds, and we get a little trimming off the back of Mr. Patterson to close it out. This week's special report with Lord Alfred Hayes running down the WrestleMania 5 card. Then it's back to the ring for tag team action. Going to see Greg the Hammer Valentine and the Honky Tonk Man, their opponents Ricky Attacky and Mark Ming, as the Hart Foundation cut in with an insert promo reminding the Honk and the Hammer just 1 week away before that duo suffers a heart attack. Meanwhile, in the ring, Valentine with a double underhook suplex on Ricky Attacky tosses him into the corner, forcing him to tag in Mark Ming for the Hammer, working extra stiff on both men. Honky Tonk Man even busting out his old sit-out clothesline in preparation for WrestleMania, all set up for the shake, rattle, and roll. The neckbreaker lands before Hammer tagged back in to drop that big Hammer elbow, locking in that shin guard-assisted figure 4 to get the victory here, 2 minutes and 57 seconds. As right now we roll back to the event center again, going to hear more from WrestleMania opponents, talking about Bad News Brown and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. We're going to hear from Brother Love as well. He's got the big segment coming up with Piper's Pit. Speaking of, I believe there's even a telegram sent in from the Hot Rod.
Hacksaw Dummy, you have a very short memory. You didn't remember what happened last year, huh? Well, I guarantee you one thing. I'm going to have to make you an example. And the example is we're going to be in front of millions and millions of people. And I'm going to shine. I'm going to bring you out there, and I'm going to stomp you from pillar to post. They're going to carry you out on a stretcher. They're going to have an ambulance for you and plenty of flowers and candies, because that's exactly where you're going, to the hospital.
Bad news, Brown! Bad news, Brown! WrestleMania 5 is just 2 weeks away, and there's only one thing on my mind, and that's bad news, Brown. When I brush my teeth, I think of bad news, Brown. When I comb my hair, I think of bad news, Brown. In 2 short weeks at WrestleMania 5, I'm going to take care of bad news, Brown.
An exciting matchup. Hacksaw Jim Duggan to face Bad News Brown. You talk about exciting. What about the return to WrestleMania 5 of Roddy Piper and Piper's Pit? As you know, he has been sending telegrams to the WWF, and we here at the Event Center have just received one. It won't be the Brother Love show at WrestleMania 5, and it sure won't be the Morton Downey Jr. show. It'll be Piper's Pit when I run the show. Well, right now, standing by are Piper's guests, Brother Love and Morton Downey Jr.
You are the Pits, baby, and Brother Love belongs down there with you.
Pit? Well, Brother Love doesn't know anything about down below. But what I do know about is running the show. And Brother Love will run the show at WrestleMania 5.
All right, the hype continues on for WrestleMania, the big Piper's Pit. Roddy Piper's return, Duggan in Bad News. Coming to win his second WrestleMania in a row is Brown. As we go back to the ring singles action, going to see Rick Martel once again accompanied by Tito Santana. Arriba! Martel's opponent, Jose Estrada, without the Conquistador mask this week. Martel, though, if you listen carefully to Mike McGurk, The ring announcer, Rick Martel, appears to be billed from Brooklyn, New York here. It's an odd place for a French-Canadian. Tito, though, staying on the floor in this one for the intro of Rick Martel, reaches up and slaps him a high five as his partner gets ready to do his thing in the ring. We do get the old familiar La Bamba and Lucky Pierre comment from Bobby Heenan, which may be the last time, so I'll soak it in. Of course, Bobby's team, the Brainbusters, have Strikeforce at the pay-per-view, and we hear from Strikeforce here in a insert promo, as they've heard the Brainbusters say they're giving Strikeforce a wrestling lesson at WrestleMania. But it's the former tag team champions, Tito and Rick Martel, who will come out on top. Meanwhile, in the ring, Jose Estrada attacking Martel to begin, but Rick is quick to take over. The two going to trade body scissor spots in the corner, with Martel one-upping Jose with a sunset flip for a near fall. Martel going up and over an Estrada slam attempt, landing on his feet, catching Estrada with a nice dropkick, setting him up for the Boston Crab submission. Going to get the win for Martel here at 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Post-match, Tito Santana entering the ring as the former champs once again embrace a big hug and a hand slap as they look ready for WrestleMania. Now, a stretch from what we heard from Martel a couple weeks back. Remember, Rick said then that, well, I came back as a singles. I wanted to do a singles wrestling match, but if this is what I have to settle for to be part of WrestleMania, then so be it. But for the moment, it appears Strikeforce now back on the same page. Or are they? Time will tell as we go back to the ring singles action. Now, King Haku with Bobby Heenan by his side. Of course, Gorilla Monsoon solo on commentary for this one. Haku's opponent, Frankie Valdez. As we get an insert promo here from the mighty Hercules, Herc will be no man's servant moving forward. He will not bow before the king come WrestleMania. Meanwhile, in the ring, excellent power slam from Haku. Some nasty martial arts chops. Shoulder breaker going to set up Valdez for a thrust kick. Straight to the face. Does it every time. Haku scores the win, 1 minute and 28 seconds. Well, we heard from Randy Savage on Superstars. We heard from Hulk Hogan on the Brother Love Show. Now we get another Hulk Hogan promo here on Wrestling Challenge. And I'll explain why in just a moment. But right now we're going to go back for tag team action. We saw Honky Tonk and the Hammer earlier here in action. Now we see the other side. Talking about Bret the Hitman Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the Hart Foundation are out here to take on Iron Mike Sharp and Dusty Wolf. And we even get an insert promo here from Honky and the Hammer and manager Jimmy Hart, who is holding up the Hart Foundation's contract, urging them to come and get it, baby. Valentine stating there will be broken hearts and broken legs at WrestleMania, but they continue to play the story. Even though the Harts haven't even mentioned it, it hasn't been mentioned on commentary. Jimmy Hart's selling this as, if you want your contract back, Hart Foundation, all you got to do is come and take it. Beat us at WrestleMania. I like that these guys are trying to slip some storylines in here. We get an impressive scoop slam early on by the Anvil, jerking the 300-pound Mike Sharp straight up into the air. The Hitman then excellently executing a backbreaker on Dusty Wolf before it's the heart attack on Wolf, taking him down. Now Mike Sharp tries to make the save, but holy shit. Jim Neidhart plowing him over with a shoulder tackle, while Bret Hart making the pin on Wolf, getting the 1-2-3. Hart Foundation looking good, getting the win 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Look out, Honky and Hammer. As we go off now, we heard from Hulk Hogan. We saw Hulkster on the Brother Love Show. It's only fair Randy Savage gets equal time here. Up on the stage, special interview, Mean Gene with the Macho Man Randy Savage here. Loud boos for the WWF champion, who says everybody knows that Hulk Hogan is a prima donna, a hot dog, a grandstander. Hulk Hogan jealous of the Macho Man because he's the champion. Hulk is not. Facts. And of course, everyone knows that Hulk Hogan has lust in his black heart for the lovely Liz. Lots of similarities to the promo that we actually listened to on Superstars, which is why I didn't record this one. But Savage states the lust, the jealousy, the prima donna, the hot dog, the grandstander, everybody knows all of this. But what everybody doesn't know is Hulk Hogan is a thief, someone who steals things. I'll buy that. Hulk plans to steal the WWF title. Won't happen, Never. Also, trying to steal the lovely Miss Elizabeth, but that won't work either. At WrestleMania 5, Savage will catch Hogan red-handed, trying to steal, and it'll be Hulk's moment of truth. But what Hogan has stolen is all the minds of the Hulkamaniacs, and now that makes them Pukamaniacs, Randy Savage digging into the fans, looking for those boos, which he receives here, at least on Wrestling Challenge, heading into WrestleMania. Pukamania will not run wild, according to the Macho Man. Very fun stuff here from both sides as we go into the pay-per-view. We get our final WrestleMania report on the Grenade. Replay from Superstars, then back to the ring for tag team action. Final match here on Wrestling Challenge, the Brainbusters stepping in the ring against Louis Spicoli and Tim Horner, White Lightning. The Brainbusters going to cut an insert promo here as we get going. 1 week away, Strikeforce, and what these two bums in the ring are going through right now will be a reality for Martel and Santana come WrestleMania. And we do get some fun back and forth here between Arn and Tully with Tim Horner. The first minute or so of the match, Horner looking good. Then Spicoli tagging in and gets eaten up from there. The heels luring Horner back in the ring, which distracts the referee. Tim White, his back turned to the action, and a spike pile driver coming down on Spicoli behind the referee's back and to give the Busters the win. 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Again, Gorilla doing solo commentary here, putting over the spike pile driver as illegal in a lot of places. Maybe not here, but the Busters have yet to use the move in front of a referee, getting it over as illegal, whether it is or it's not. Double team moves are legal here in the WWF, but very dangerous is the spike pile driver. As we close out this week's episode of Wrestling Challenge, we've got one more piece of business. It is Primetime Wrestling for March the 27th. 6 days away from WrestleMania, and I noticed the rating here. Now, last week's episode, for instance, drew a 3.0. This week, the final week leading into WrestleMania, a 3.8. Everybody tuning in for that last-minute play on the WrestleMania event going down this upcoming weekend. Hosted, as always, by Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon, but a different venue this week. We are, in fact, inside of Trump Plaza's casino. Bobby Heenan being greeted or trying to greet other people at the beginning of the program. Great comedy spot here, but who is this? What do my eyes see in front of me? Tony Schiavone arrives here on the Primetime Wrestling program, arriving to the casino, trying to shake the hand of Bobby Heenan. We get the comedy spot where Bobby keeps looking like he's about to shake Tony's hand, but then makes a gesture to move away from it. We've seen Bobby do that in future times, and we get to see him do it here with Tony way back in 1989. The first time these two are on stage together, and it won't be the last. Now, I know there are some issues later on. Bobby, his thoughts and feelings on Tony, and Tony's had to make comments in return. But it's fun to see them back here in this setting here as they sit at a blackjack table. They have some fun here with Gorilla Monsoon. Even Brother Love shows up, and what a quartet, what a foursome that makes on screen at the same time, much less in a casino, while other people are gambling and not even paying attention. Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby Heenan, Tony Schiavone, and Brother Love having a get-together here. Very fun that everybody's in town for WrestleMania 5, a week early, but just a whole lot of fun to be had in the wraparounds in between the matches. There are a few exclusive matches again this week, including from March the 8th in Odessa, 2 matches from the County Coliseum there. Bushwhackers over Jose Estrada and Dangerous Danny Davis. Jose just doing jobs everywhere on his way out of town. Butch scoring the win on Estrada after the battering ram double gut buster. They used it against the Conquistador Estrada. Now they're using it to him without the mask, getting the victory here. Danny Davis, the partner of Jose. This might be the final time we see Dangerous Danny in the ring as a wrestler, that is. More on that in the weeks to come. Stay tuned. We also see another match. The last one was so good on Primetime that they did it on Saturday night's main event on NBC, and we get yet another one here on Primetime Wrestling, talking about Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty defeating the Brainbusters by disqualification. Match goes about 11 minutes. Tully Blanchard pulling the top rope down from the outside, causing Michaels to take a nasty bump to the floor. So we get another little match snuck in here between the Rockers and the Brainbusters, and I, for one, am not complaining. Also taped as an exclusive here to Primetime, El Paso, March the 7th, the Brooklyn Brawler with Bobby Heenan in his corner defeating Paul Roma. Roma coming off the top with a big flying cross body, but Brawler able to roll over on top using the momentum against Paul to score the victory. And that really wraps it up for matches in regards to WrestleMania. Now the weekend of the pay-per-view is here. April 1st, Superstars. April 2nd, Wrestling Challenge. The day, April 2, pal, the day of WrestleMania. But all these programs are highlights, countdown shows to WrestleMania, highlights of all the main feuds, comments from the participants involved. Vince McMahon doing some voiceover work there for Superstars. Bobby and Gorilla in Trump Plaza once again for Wrestling Challenge. And because we like to do a round out and complete the full weekend of events. Now, usually when there's a pay-per-view on the weekend, we know that the prime time that airs afterwards is usually taped beforehand, and thus there's really no results or anything coming out of the pay-per-view, no discussion. It's kind of a standalone generic episode. The difference here this time around, no Bobby and Gorilla and the primetime studio. In fact, it is a very special Coliseum video preview show promoting various Coliseum videos from past and present, hosted by Tony Schiavone and Sean Mooney. What a duo. Tony Schiavone and Sean Mooney together there on the primetime wrestling set. Bizarro World, pal. On April the 3rd, no mention of WrestleMania 5 there, but we will have it on the next episode of TV's No Doubt after the WrestleMania event. But that is what's to come next, guys. All of this build-up the last several months, all to set up the next couple episodes of The Grenade when we cover the definitive edition of WrestleMania 5. The Mega Powers explode. 14 big matches. Hercules finally looking to gain his revenge against the Heenan family when he takes on King Haku. The Twin Towers battling the Rockers. Contrast in styles, yes, both men gunning for that next shot at the WWF Tag Team Gold. However, Brutus Beefcake looking to humiliate the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, give it back to him, such as DiBiase did to many of the fans along the way. The Bushwhackers and the fabulous Rougeaus going at it. Of course, the Rougeaus upset that the foreigner Bushwhackers are taking their money, taking their jobs here in the States. Oh, those wacky Rougeaus looking to take down Luke and Butch. We'll have to wait and see if that happens. Blue Blazer gunning to end the perfect streak of one Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. Demolition defending their tag team titles against the Powers of Pain and Fuge the Stooge in a 3-on-2 handicap match. Dino Bravo battling rugged Ronnie Garvin. Not much to add there. Brainbusters taking on the reunited Strikeforce, former tag team champions Tito Santana and Rick Martel here in the WWF, taking on the former NWA tag team champions Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Jake Roberts looking to finally once and for all end his issues with the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant. Special referee Big John Studd going to enforce the rules here, no doubt about it. Also, the Hart Foundation looking to regain their contract from former manager Jimmy Hart when they take on Greg Valentine and the Honky Tonk Man. Ravishing Rick Rude coming for the Intercontinental Gold of the Ultimate Warrior. Battle of the Brawlers, Bad News Brown battles Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Red Rooster looking for revenge against former manager Bobby the Brain Heenan. And of course, the Mega Powers will explode when the Hulkster comes for the WWF Championship of the Macho Man Randy Savage. Miss Elizabeth in a neutral corner. All of that plus Run DMC performs the special WrestleMania rap. The return of Rowdy Roddy Piper and Piper's Pit, his guests, Morton Downey Jr. and Brother Love. And if all of that wasn't enough, hey, Rockin' Robin going to be singing America the Beautiful. Looking forward to that at the top of the program. But for this week, we say goodbye. We go on to prep for a big 2-part WrestleMania 5 show. Hoping to have some special guests to talk the matches along the way. But until then, time to say goodbye. But we will be back very soon with the definitive edition of the WrestleMania 5 breakdown. I can't wait for it. I can't believe we're already here. Another WrestleMania on the horizon. But for this week, this is Ray Russell saying from pillar to post and coast to coast, you pull the pin and I'll pick up the pieces right here on the Wrestling Memory Grenade. See you next week. Don't miss it. Be there!
April 2nd, right here in Atlantic City. Donald Trump did us a favor. He imported a Japanese slot machine. You know what happens? You hit Fuji right in the stomach, you reach down, you put a $10 gold piece in his mouth, you grab his arms, his eyeballs start flapping around, and two cherries come up, and I get to knock him right out. How must I prepare, you must ask yourself? Should I jump up the tallest building in the world? Should I lay on the lawn and let him run over me with lawnmowers? Should I go to Africa and let him trample me with raging elephants? And as it surges up, as it creeps up my body, man, and as it pumps the life, the blood veins through my arms, all the way up to the delts, all the way up to my neck, through my brain, I feel that Hulkamania will be reborn in WrestleMania 5. I feel that Hulkamania is the strongest force in the universe. And as me and the Macho Man explode off the launching pad in the Trump Plaza, there's only going to be one that's going to survive. When we come down to WrestleMania 5, it's going to be the truth, brother, that makes Hulkamania survive.
You don't know me, Hulk Hogan. You don't know where I'm coming from. After I beat you with that big elbow and pin you 1, 2, 3, guaranteed victory. I'm gonna tell you and all the pukesters out there one last time before this Sunday afternoon. Hulkamania is dead.